Well, as I said, I promised everybody that we would disguise them to the point where even their own families wouldn't recognize them because their families were now, deputized in this campaign to find them and bring them back. And too many families, bizarrely, responded positively to that charge by the government. If not your direct family, then certainly members of your vast kind of clan-based family structure as exists there in that cultural subgroup in Chechnya. Um, and I brought the footage back and started working with people who had addressed this challenge before, and we tried like virtually everything that had been tried before, and kept discovering that it fell far short of that disguise factor. And we tried so many things. Some actually did disguise, but they eliminated or masked or erased or certainly undermined the humanity of the individuals whose stories we were telling, and it became more of a kind of a theoretical tale of danger, because you didn't really experience it with the characters. I'll tell you an example. We used, for example, Snapchat technology, putting masks on, or like a bunny face, thinking that somehow a viewer might be able to see through that and start feeling the journey, the emotional journey. And it just wasn't possible. We tried painting on masks. We tried. I'll show you what I mean. We tried stuff like this that had the impact of like kind of disguising people. You could still guess that this is me. And also this technology, this kind of simple technology, doesn't allow you to like turn your head away. It flies off, it disappears. It's just, we needed something much more fundamental. And we found that there was a movement among VFX artists to work. These are mostly artists who are working in the area of kind of merging fine art with film art, and using a filter system algorithm to, for example, change my face into one inspired by Picasso's work. And that was interesting. It was kind of ugly. And so we said, well, what if you were to do it with another face? Like, what if you were to sample another face and move that face in? They thought it was possible. We worked on it for a couple of months. And that's how we came up with this kind of beta testing samples that seemed phenomenal. It really seemed like it was going to work. And it worked even on the footage that we had shot so suboptimally. We shot it at night with cell phones, as I said, with multiple different cameras, on the run, people fleeing like at full speed, in all sorts of kinds of lighting. And it seemed to hold to the task. So the question was, could we do it for 23 people in the film, covering 100 minutes of digital challenge? And that's what seemed impossible at first. And that's what I think the innovation for this process, the fundamental innovation, was the creation of an algorithm that would automate the work, that would do the tracking, and hold those faces, and reflect the every micro expression of every individual in the film, and while wearing somebody else's face. I mean, that was really a huge breakthrough. It was the first time I knew that I would be able to go back to the people in the film and say, I think we have found a way to do this. Um, and then we went out to the world of activists, mostly in New York, mostly queer activists, and asked them to lend their faces as an act of activism to help us do this. And that's how we began the pairings, the kind of casting, if you will, to merge these two faces and find a face that would be that would fit the head, but not at all appear anything like the underlying character. Um, we brought those people into a what do we call it? A data ingestion system, a blue screen environment where we recreated the lighting in each of the scenes in the film and just gathered their faces from all angles in all lighting circumstances so that the algorithm would be able to match the face at night or the face in a taxi cab with streetlights going overhead and kind of all of those um, visual details. So all of that is just automated, and that's what was really this phenomenal breakthrough for the film. And it worked. I was able to take images back to people and say, who is this? And they didn't know it was them. And that was the that's when we knew we had something. That's when we knew we could actually finish this film and bring it to audiences.